Hello, our group is doing the invertebrates for BYS 120 for Dr. Luciano Matzkin, and our group members include Josh Cummings, Brian O'Neill, Jody Porter, and Laura Statham.
This is a phylogenetic tree of invertebrates that lays out a map to their lineage, beginning with the ancestral protist displayed at the bottom of the tree.
Phylum Porifera is the only invertebrate that is not in the clade Eudemozoa. When the ancient Greeks first discovered sponges, they thought that they were plants. Sponges are sedimentary, lack true tissue and organs, and are suspension feeders. They pull water into their pores through their spongocyl and expel it out through an opening called their osculum. Sponges are hermaphrodites, which means they possess both male and female characteristics. Here are a few examples of sponges in Phylum Porifera.
This is phylum Cnidaria. They have the oldest lineages in the clade Eudemozoa. They have a wide range of sessile and motile forms. They include hydras, corals, and jellies. They have a diploblastic radial body cavity and a gastrovascular cavity. And they use cnidocytes in their tentacles for offense and defense. They have 4 classes: hydrazoan, scyphozoan, the cubozoan, and the amphizoan. The hydrazoan is known for alternating between the polyp and medusae form, and is the only one that has a unicellular or haploid stage. The scyphozoan is known as the true jellyfish. It has a dominant stage in its medusae form, and the cubozoan is known for having a very potent venom, and it has very complex eyes in its medusae. The amphizoan includes sea anemones and corals. They create symbiotic relationships with photosynthetic algae. Here are a few examples of the different types of cnidarians.
Phylum Luciano includes the free-living and parasitic flatworms. They have 6 classes. The first one is the palahelminths, which include flatworms that live in marine, freshwater, and damp terrestrial habitats. They're tripoblastic, coelemates, which means they don't have a body cavity, and include tapeworms and trematodes that are parasitic. The second class is the rotifers. They're smaller than most protists, but are multicellular. They have specialized organs. They're alimentary canal, and they're parthogenesis. The third is ectopoda, which are sessile and colonial. They have a lophophore and they're coelemates. The fourth is brachiopoda, which are clams that have shells that open dentral and ventral. The fifth is mollusca. They are gastropoda snails, and they're coelemates, and they have water-filled mantles. They include bivalvia, cephalopoda, polyocophore, gastropoda. The last is annelida, which have fused rings. They're coelemates and hermaphrodites. They include polychaetes and oligochaetes. Here are some examples of lophotrozoans. The phylum Ectozoans includes animals that shed a tough external coat as they grow, which is called a cuticle. It contains more known species than all other living groups combined. The 2 largest phyla within this group are the nematoda and arthropoda. Nematodes, also known as roundworms, live in aquatic habitats in moist tissues of plants or body fluids and tissues of animals. They reproduce sexually by internal fertilization. Unlike annelids, they do not have a segmented body, but more of a tough cuticle that sheds. Nematodes possess an alimentary canal, a pseudocoelom, no circulatory system, and no segmented body. Some species of nematodes are important to parasites of plants and animals. Others can be acquired by humans from undercooked pork.
Arthropoda is also included in the phylum Ectozoans. They are the most successful of all animal phyla. They can be found in nearly all habitats of the biosphere. They have a segmented body, a hard exoskeleton, and jointed appendages. Their appendages have been modified for walking, feeding, sensory reception, reproduction, and defense. They also have an open circulatory system. There are 4 major lineages. The first one is the chelicerates, which are the name for their chelicera, which are their feet appendages. They also have 6 pairs of appendages overall. They do gas exchange in their respiratory organs called book lungs. and most modern chelicerates are arachnids. The second lineage is the myriapods, which include the millipedes and centipedes. They have a large number of legs. The millipedes have many legs with about 2 pairs per trunk segment, and the centipedes have 1 pair of legs per trunk segment. The millipedes are herbivores, and the centipedes are carnivores. The third lineage is the hexapods, which include insects. They live in like every habitat due to 3 key innovations, which is mainly the evolution of flight, as well as the ability to adapt to the gymnosperms and angiosperms. They have several complex organ systems, and they undergo either complete or incomplete metamorphosis, and they reproduce sexually. The fourth lineage is the crustaceans, which are both marine and freshwater. They have highly specialized appendages, mainly for feeding and movement. The small crustaceans breathe through their cuticle, while the large ones breathe through their gills. They mainly include isopods, copepods, decapods, and barnacles, and most of them have separate sexes.
These are some examples of ectozoans. Clade Deuterostomia consists of sea stars and sea urchins. They have very little in common with vertebrates. It includes phylums Echinoderms and Chordates. Phylum Echinodermata consists of slow-moving, sessile marine animals. They are unique because they have water vascular systems. They have separate male and females that release their gametes into the water. Echinodermata is divided into 5 classes: Asteroidea, Apheroidea, Echinodea, Crinodea, Holothuroidea,